Welcome back to another video tutorial brought to you by thevirtualinstructor.com. Today we're going to look at drawing ears, and I hope you've seen the video on drawing facial proportions so you know where the ears are located. They're actually located between the eye line and the nose line, and today we're going to draw maybe a little bit of an exaggerated ear. So the first thing you do is you start with this outline, and this is actually someone's left ear. So if you're looking at them, it'll appear on the right side of their head. The next thing you do is you draw a line up underneath that almost touches that original line you drew. Then you go up underneath it with another line and bring that line down and then over just about like that. Now everybody's ear is a different type of shape. Some ears are a little bit shorter on the top and wider in the middle and shorter at the bottom. This one is a little bit wider at the top and a little bit narrower at the bottom and then wider at the bottom. So that's the ear we're going to draw today, and I'm just going back and making some of my lines a little bit darker. Now the next part, the inside part of the ear, can somewhat be like a fingerprint. You've got all these little ridges and ripples on the inside part of the ear, and the best thing to do is to look at your subject matter and really analyze what's happening there. Now I draw those lines really lightly, and then I'll go in with the value, and wherever the ear recedes, in other words anywhere there's a valley on the inside part of the ear, the value needs to get darker. So I'll go in and I'll start adding my darker values. Anywhere where the ear kind of pops up or the ripple comes up, it's going to be lighter in value. So by drawing those lines to begin with, I've got an idea of where it's going to be lighter and where it's going to be darker. So I'm going back in and adding that value right now. And of course, wherever the ear kind of flops over there on the top, it's going to be darker as well. So that's where I start adding my value. I know that if I get dark right there quickly, it's going to be okay. Because that area is naturally shadowed. And like I said, everybody's ear is a little bit different, so you have to really look at your subject matter and evaluate what's going on in that inside part of the ear. Now at the end of the ear, the top edge of the ear, you don't want to get too dark too quick because it is cartilage and some light shines through there. So although it's going to be darker on the inside part of the ear, there is some light that shines through the back side of the ear. Now just because you have value on the inside doesn't mean you need to neglect the value on the outside. So to give the outside part of the ear a little bit more of an illusion of form, we go around and add a little bit of value. I'm assuming that my light source is coming from the upper left hand side of the paper, so I'm putting the value on the bottom right hand side of the objects in order to create that illusion. Remember, when you're adding the value, that all areas that recede are going to be darker in value and the areas that protrude are going to be lighter in value. So you should keep that in mind as well when you're drawing the ear. So now I'm putting a little bit of value underneath the top part of the top flap of the ear, and I'll just continue that on all the way over to the edge of the ear. Don't get too dark with this because you do want there to be a contrast in value on the inside of the ear and the outside of the ear as well. Now to help you see this a little bit, I'm going to put a little bit of indication of some hair around the ear. Remember, this is a person's left ear, so if you're looking at them straight on, it would be on the right side of their head. And this is looking at them straight on. It's not looking at them from the side of their head, which would be easy to mistake this drawing as being that. Instead, it's looking straight on, and hopefully putting the hair around the edges will help you see that a little bit clearer. So I'm adding some of the hair in front of the ear and some of the hair behind the ear as well. When you're drawing your subjects, it's not always going to be the case that the hair comes in front of the ear, but in this case I am adding the hair in front of the ear. A little bit below the earlobe as well. I'm trying to make the value dark in the hair as well so the ear contrasts for you. Then we give you a little bit of an indication of the bottom of the neck right behind the ear as well, just so you get an idea of how that ear rests on the head. And keep in mind when you're doing your ears, they fall in between the eye line and the nose line on the face. If you haven't seen the proportions video, I suggest you do that as well. And this is going to bring us to the end of this video tutorial. I hope you've enjoyed this video tutorial brought to you by thevirtualinstructor.com.